So then that means you can go back and watch it whenever you want, stuff like that. So obviously I didn't really see this game, so I have no idea what happens. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay, if you're, I don't know if you're sharing your screen, but I can't see anything.
Yeah, I am. So just click on the area where you
Oh,
should see,
I see it. Yeah.
and then it should come up. Right. So
Okay, yeah, this is the rough game.
yeah. So the first big thing actually is like go into your settings and reduce this HUD size. The HUD size, reduce it all the way down to the lowest it'll go to. Because honestly, there's no reason why you need it this big, and it actually just blocks more of your screen. Doesn't help whatsoever. The icon's pretty much the same size anyway, so yeah, I definitely recommend reducing that as low as possible. And then here, so who are you jungling into? Who was the enemy jungler this one?
It's a Viego. So I was thinking, okay, he's a Viego. I thought he's probably going to start red and then maybe try to cut me off on my red and invade. So just in case, I wanted to place a ward down there, and then I come up here and I place one just to watch. I was thinking I don't really want to deal with him early, and a Mumu has good CC that could help me get a gank off. So I wanted to just start topside and go bot and try and work with a Mumu.
Okay, so the only thing here, this pink is really not valuable. It doesn't really provide you that much, really. And then yeah, they just go and instantly clear it out. So yeah.
I think the issue here is I made the mistake of not clicking on them when they invaded, so I didn't see that it was just the bot lane. Because you'll see in a second,
Oh yeah,
the
this
Viego
is
decided to start topside.
yeah, this is very bad. So the reason, why do you think, who was Viego's top?
I think a Fiora.
Okay,
So
so
I didn't
what?
I didn't engage enough to die, but I didn't expect him to be topside.
Okay, so this was this game, right? So they had a Fiora top. Okay, yeah, Ashcan. So in this game, why? What was your logic behind where Viego would start?
Um, it's just kind of more the point that this is low elo, and
Okay, so don't worry about what
90% of
elo it is.
Viegos I play against will start red.
Okay, so don't worry about the elo it is. One of the things we have to do is if we're only really considering it based on elo, then that's one of the things that we have to change. Purely because no matter what elo it is, you always go into every single game expecting everybody to be good. So even if they're not going to, go into every single game expecting everybody to be good, and then slowly you'll see who is good, who isn't, and you can go from there. Why do you think Viego didn't want to start bot? What would that have done for him?
Um, let's see. Well, Garen wouldn't really be able to fight the Fiora early, anyways. I'm not entirely sure though.
Okay, so do you remember in the boot camp we spoke about the factors to ganks? Do you remember what they were? Those three?
Not off the top of my head,
Okay,
no.
no problem. So the first one is damage. Without damage, you're not going to get the kills. Like, it's simple as that. The second one is CC. If you have CC in a lane, then it's going to be much easier to gank. And the third thing to consider is mobility. If obviously they have enough CC, mobility won't matter as much. But overall, you're looking for low mobility if possible, stuff like that. So these are kind of the main things you're looking for right now. In top lane, what does Fiora have out of these three?
Damage and mobility.
So she does have damage. She does have mobility. It doesn't really do too much in terms of setting up a gank, but she does for sure. What does Viego have?
Uh, he has, I mean, I guess a bit of all three.
He has damage. The mobility, I wouldn't
Sort
say
of.
as much. Like maybe like
If he,
half.
yeah, if he's near a wall, he has mobility.
Yeah,
But
and CC, it's like you know, it's only
he has
his
like half of
W.
that too.
Yeah, maybe a half as well. So in theory, he's not really going to be able to do much in top lane, right? So top lane is he can go, but okay. Now let's consider bot lane. So Ash Karma, what do they have?
They have a lot of CC
They have a lot of
and
CC. Yeah, a lot of CC.
good damage.
Yeah, damage is okay too. Yeah, yeah. So they have, let's give them 2 ticks to CC because they're very big, and we'll give them 1 tick for damage. Now, Viego comes along as well. He also has half a CC and damage. This lane is super, super good for him to go for. Then on top of that, in terms of kind of like our laners, like does Samira and Amumu have a lot of mobility?
No.
Not really, no. I mean, Samira can jump, and Amumu does have his Q, but he doesn't really have any mobility for escaping. And honestly, Samira not too much either, not for escaping anyway.
I
So
think the Viego most of this game also, I think he camps mid a lot because he's a set mid,
yeah,
which is
that's
awesome.
that is good to be fair. But yeah, so blue on junglers will allow them to clear quicker as well because you get haste, which haste is really really good when you're clearing your jungle. Now, in terms of where we start, what could we also do on our first clear in order to disguise where we start? So both of our laners, both top lane and bot lane, can be in lane. What could we do? We should have done here.
Um, Possibly just maybe started Raptors or
Yeah. So, what is your first main goal on Eve? What's the first thing you want?
just like in general.
Yeah, what's your first point of the game where you can really have some huge impact?
Once you get Sword Boots,
Yeah, that's one. That's one.
either that or once you hit 6.
Yeah, 6 is the main one. Soak boots are very nice, but it's more soak boots with 6 than with Dark
Like a
Seal 2.
yeah.
Like, once you've got all these 3, you just walk around and just absolutely murder everyone. But what ends up happening is, in order to get 6, you need to clear very quick. Now, AoE camps give a very large amount of XP, which is really, really good. So, based on the fact that they give a large amount of XP, where do you think you should have gone around? Where do you think you should have focused? Because, so the, for context, the Raptors, they give 85 XP at level 1. And then the Krugs, they give a total of, I think it's 53 at level 1. But these scale like super hard. They go all the way up to like 206 XP. So they scale like super hard. And also Raptors do scale okay too. I mean, it's not as good as others, but they go to 114 XP. So in regards to that, and we've seen that the Krugs especially scale so hard, and they do give quite a lot of XP early. What do you think we should have? What path do you think we should have taken?
I probably could have done like a Raptors, Krogs, Red, and then
And then what we would do from there? So yes,
I'd have to
sort of saying
kind of.
here.
I could
Yeah,
assume Viego, especially because that's kind
yeah.
of a slower start. Viego would definitely be bot side or at least mid by that point.
Okay.
So I'd have to check like mid and top and see where the wave states are at that point and how the
Hmm.
laners are doing. And if neither of those look real like gankable or
Hmm.
possible,
So I
then
don't think you'd ever gank it either. Sorry to interject, but I don't think you'd ever go to either of these
just
from there.
keep sequencing down them.
Yep. So what happens is if you go the Raptors into Krogs into red, and then you go top, for example, all of this is available to take. And also, what's then going to happen is next time you do sequence, you're going to take your Krugs, and then these aren't going to be up yet. They're going to be MIA. So because of that, then we end up messing up our sequence entirely. So what we should do is go from this now into this, Then from this, we go into this. So then our full
Yeah.
sequence is set. And then from here, we get this. And then we can look for a gank. Probably on bot. Just have a look if there's anything we can do. We've got CC and the Mumu, and Samira does a lot of damage. We can potentially grab the Ash or the Karma. They're both quite squishy, so we can potentially get a flash from them. All we're looking for is a flash, that's it. Because once we get that flash, then the next time we sequence, we come into bot, we know they don't have flash available, which means then we can get a charm, and then we can flash onto them to get a charm, and then they'll die, right?
Yeah.
Now another thing with this sequence too is it'll mean that even if we don't get any kills, we should get level 2 off our red buff, if not our red buff and our Krugs. But yeah, like I said, the Krugs scale super hard in terms of XP. Both buffs only give 100, well, I say only. Both the buffs give 110 XP each. But, you know, it's... your Krugs and Raptors will be giving quite a lot when the buffs respawn and stuff too, and they don't really scale too well. They only go to like 148. So overall, this should be kind of one of the sequences that you should be looking for a lot more, because this one is really easy, because since you start here, you could start anywhere. Like, they don't know where you're starting. You could be on red solo, you could be on blue solo, you could have started this, you could have done anything really, and they're not really going to know where you are. So because they're not going to know where you are, you just get free reign to do whatever you want really, and it's going to allow you to be a lot safer within your jungle, so that you're not going to get hard punished by the Viego basically. So yeah, taking red first, a little bit rough, because that's every single moment that you spend taking this red buff is time that you're going to be waiting for the next rotation of Raptors and Krugs and the other AoE counts. So yeah, we also smite this, okay. Ideally you want to smite the big Krug, just because that camp takes the longest to do, whereas red isn't as bad.
Yeah, I believe with this game, because I went to the blue and saw Viego and then came back, my clear was a bit delayed and I didn't have my top, so I think I decided to do a 5 camp and just
Okay,
get
so
Krugs on second sequence.
yeah, never do that on Eve. Never. Because on Eve, the sooner you get to 6, the better. Like, so you always just want to look full clear. The only time you don't full clear is if there's a super easy kill or gank for you to get. Otherwise, just full clear. It's way better. So yeah, here. And also because we've only got one pot, because we bought that pink, like now we don't get refillable. So now it's kind of rough for us too. So the way you clear this red is okay. These though, not so much. So what you want to do is you want to basically be directly on them and then get your Q on all of them at once. So yeah, you want to kind of focus that as much as you can. So you're walking around way too much, and you're also not using your Q quick enough. Like your Q, you should be spamming that constantly, like over and over and over. So see all of this time where you're not using it?
Yeah.
This is really bad on Eve. So as soon as it is off cooldown, you want to use it, and over and over and over. Just basically spam it as much as you can and make sure that you get as many as possible. That's why you're slightly low HP here, because our Qs haven't really hit that much. Obviously, our jungle item heals us quite a lot, especially because we have AoE abilities. So here
Okay.
as well, again, don't worry about moving too much. You wanted to pop your potion here though, just to get that used. And then hopefully we go to Grump. Now, another big thing here is because we haven't taken Krugs, we haven't healed as much as we should have. So now it means that taking Grump is quite hard. Plus, on top of that, we don't have our W available because we skipped these Krugs, which is also really bad. Because what we want to usually do on Grump is we want to use our Q and our empowered E, and then we want to use our W on it, and then kind of kite about, and then pop the W, and then once it's low, we get the smite on it as well, which we would have had smite at this point. So, because now we are going to be extremely low, so we're very vulnerable in the jungle right now. This Viego could have ran in the jungle and just one-popped us, like, very easily. Here as well, we also smited that while it was a lot lower than it could have been, I think. Make sure, like, when you're like looking to smite a camp like that, left click it so that you get the little thing in the top here, so you can see how much HP it has, so you can get a perfect smite.
Okay.
So when we also use actually no, it was okay. Charm wasn't too bad there actually. Okay, so that's very risky to do.
So do you think I shouldn't have hit the Scryer's Bloom and just like
No,
assumed he
not
was
until
dead?
you were leaving, because even if they don't have vision of you, if you pop it, they can see you pop it on the minimap. So you basically tell them exactly where you are. Which, because of that then, so if you hadn't have popped that, then he still doesn't know where you started. He still has no idea, because you didn't get
Yeah.
a leash. So because you popped that now, he's like, oh, she's bot side, which means she started red, which now means that at around 6 minutes, when that red buff spawns, I'm going to go and kill her before she gets 6. Well, that's what, a good jungler would do.
Yeah, I don't think this Viego wasn't necessarily the carry of this game, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, don't never really worry about if somebody's a carry or not, because if you think about that, then you end up in a position where you'll try and do things because you don't think that they'll be able to understand how to stop it, and then before you know it, you are so behind and the game's completely lost just because it's a little bit of complacency, I guess. Like if you end up getting a little bit too complacent based on the elo that you're in, then you'll restrict your ability to climb like hard. Okay, so she missed that. Yeah. So in this game, you never really want to gank top lane. Like, especially when your Krugs are available. Because you're never going to be able to kill this Fiora.
Yeah.
Like, you have no CC in the Garen, and you don't really have enough damage either, to be honest. Fiora's very strong. But now what happens is, so what should have happened here, instead of doing that gank, you should have taken the Krugs, which should have been the second rotation Krugs, and then you walk down, and then you're on the Raptors as soon as they spawn. As soon as they spawn. So you get them as soon as they spawn, and then you go here, these will spawn, you go here, this will spawn, and then you can look for a gank on bot. If it doesn't work, then you reset, and then you can, maybe if you're coming through here, you can maybe look to get a bit of pressure off. Maybe help Garen reset just while you wait for your Krugs to come up. And then you do this same again. Actually, no, it'd be red buff that spawns on the next rotation, actually. So now we get these. Oh, yeah, so this is... So we're playing way too combat heavy. Like, way too combat. You probably die here. Yeah, you're very, very dead here, I think. Lee Set is going to come kill you. Okay, so we had to use flash. Oh, God. Oh, no. It's a disaster. Okay, we don't die. Okay, that's something. Okay. So, we didn't really get anything out of that, right? And
Yeah.
there was no real reason to, right? Because, again, we're delaying our ability to kind of carry. And funny enough, I've said this with 3 different people today, funny enough. So, do you know how you get punished in terms of jungle XP?
I'm assuming you're going to say not taking all the little Krugs.
No, in terms of, do you know about the XP debuffs?
I know about the Monster Hunter one, but
Okay,
that's
so there's actually a debuff for XP on the camps. So for every 1 level you're above the camp, you lose 10% XP. So if you're like 2 levels above, you lose 20%. 3 is obviously 30%. 4, 40%. And then it caps out of 5 of 50% XP loss. So basically, if you're 5 levels above a camp, you're going to lose half the XP from it. So that's why, especially when you're playing these junglers that can farm very easily, Eve, Diana, Morgana, like any of the big farming junglers, even things like Graves, stuff like that, you always want to make sure that you're clearing your camps on spawn whenever possible. And then once your camps are off spawn, that's when you look to, or despawn, should I say, that's when you're looking to press your lead and really get ahead until you're at a point where you can just start snowballing the game really, really heavily, and then you're in a really good position. So here, like, especially, we're not even 6 yet. Like, on Eve, you don't really want to fight much at all until we're level 6, and then once we're level 6, we can do a lot more. You don't
Yeah.
have prio in mid, and you're not really going to be able to kill Viego anyway, especially because we didn't let our charm fully go through. If we would have maybe let our charm fully go through and take Gromp, then maybe we would have killed him. But we just shouldn't have really been here anyway, right? Like, it's
I definitely wasn't looking at mid prio when I did this because I was a little tired and that was definitely a
okay.
mistake. I think my initial plan was I knew he was going to get low with Gromp, so I wanted to try and steal Gromp and then kill him when he was really low, like that. But yeah, I can see how that's just a bunch of
Yeah.
waste of time.
Yeah, plus you had a ton of gold on you as well. So right here you could have actually if you would have full cleared everything, you could reset for Soak Shoes and Dark Seal, which is then the point where you're really, really strong, right? Because now we don't actually get a Dark Seal on that reset. So even with, like, we're going to be on the map now. Well, I mean, Set actually just murders us here, but
Yeah,
again, this kind of shouldn't have happened because right now we shouldn't have been here, if that makes sense. So if you would have sequenced your camps properly, then you would have actually walked up here. Red would respawn, and then Krugs would guarantee you 6, and then you could actually just sequence bot into very, very hard bot lane punish gameplay. Like, very, very hard. So when you're playing Eve, bot lane is a role that you really want to punish as hard as possible.
yeah, I think that XP point makes a lot more sense because I've noticed in a lot of the games where I kind of do a bit better, it's where I just sequence a ton unless there's like a very obvious kill,
Hmm.
and then start kind of going out. So that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because this is the thing as well. Like, Eve is a farming jungler until she's ahead. Like, and then when she's ahead, she becomes an assassin. This is why Eve is so good, in my opinion, is because she is an assassin, but she's very, very safe, and she can farm very, very well. So she can get really, really big. It's kind of the same reason why Diana's really good as well. Because now, see, we're still level 4. It's 7 minutes and we're level 4. We should have been level 6 by now. So we're really, really behind in terms of overall XP. And even here, like, we are invading, which is obviously okay. It's good, but firstly, you want to take the blue buff first because that's the most valuable camp here. It gives 110 XP, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, and I think that's the only one that I don't end up getting.
Yeah. So obviously, wolves do give you a base 95 XP, but they don't scale very well. They give you a maximum of, so wolves start at 95, but they only give a maximum of 128. So they don't really scale too well. Blue doesn't either, don't get me wrong, it's 110, and then it scales to 148. But I mean, Gromp is okay. It scales probably the best. Gromp goes 35. Well, one of the best in topside anyway. Gromp goes 135 to uh, um 182. So, like, yeah, blue is basically the biggest value on here for you to get early into the game. So that's kind of what you want to focus. Whereas Gromp, hasn't really scaled too well yet, and then the wolves never really give that much. So get blue and then see what else you can get. Blue and Gromp would have been enough there, but yeah, now we're in a bit of a position where we can't really do that much, and obviously we don't have prio in mid or top, so we kind of just have to run. But yeah, so I think obviously one of your biggest problems so far is that you're trying to rush the game before you're at a point where you are influential. Like, it's your, and I guess it's kind of like the curse of solo queue, right? Because, like, in solo queue you think, oh, I've got to make something happen early, otherwise my team's gonna fall about, and then they're not going to do anything. But this is kind of the thing. When you are playing farming junglers, you want to make sure. So this move was okay, but again, you don't have 6, so you're not really going to be able to do that much. So one of the issues that a lot of players have in these lower elos is that, whoa, what's this Krug bug?
I don't know. It just sits there.
So one of the issues that a lot of players have in these elos is they don't play around the actual power spikes. So like in this game so far, you haven't played around your power spikes, and you didn't get ultimate until 9 minutes. So it's, yeah, now you have the ability to do things, but you've lost a lot of windows of opportunity. So as Eve, you can, oh yeah, so this is another thing. So as soon as you're going to turn level 6, get rid of your sweeper. Just go back to normal wards. Because if you sweep and turn a ward off, they're going to know where you are, even though you're invisible. So sweeper pre-6 is good, but after 6, it's really bad. Because if you get seen by a control ward, anyway, you can see it in your invisibility, right?
Yeah.
So it just shows you where it is. So, yeah, like I said, the biggest problem so far is that we're just not really playing the champion how she needs to be played to find success. It's like here as well, we could have just gone bot. So
Yeah, I remember when I rewatched this point I was kind of debating whether or not to go bot, but
yeah,
I
it's fine.
thought they were kind of doing a risky play.
No, not all. You're level 6, like you can basically wait for them to use CC and then go in. This could have been a hard win to play a bot, especially with a Mumu coming with 6. Yeah, this was a little bit grief, a little bit. We could have gone bot, but now we have a very large amount of gold on us. Now, usually so I don't mind if I stay on the map with a lot of gold, but you have to play like you've got a lot of gold, right? So going on the set or going even close to the set here isn't playing like you've got a lot of gold, right? So you can clear camps out and play safe, but you don't really want to take fights because you've got so much gold in your pouch.
Yeah.
So let's say right now you've got 1100 gold base with 500 gold start. So you've got 16, 16, 26.
So like right here,
3,400 gold on like in total, but you've got 1,900 of it in your pouch.
yeah. So like right here, I should have just. Well, no, this one works out. I think.
Yeah, this was okay. That was fine.
I was wondering if I should have just like gone for Krugs there, but
It wasn't too bad because she was so low, so that was fine. But then here, this is not too bad. You do want to just go into his jungle low and take things because he died bot. So you want to prioritize his jungle here. I don't know if that's what we do. I hope so.
I think I take his Gromp, but not his Wolves.
Okay, that's not too bad. Like I said, wolves, in terms of XP, don't scale that well. They do give more gold, but it's 5 gold, so...
Yeah, I think kind of the issue with this game, definitely I can see the slow start, like you said. And then when I started coming online, it was just...
It's very
some
late.
of the plays, yeah, some of the plays I made were a bit too aggressive too. Like I think once I got the Dark Seal, I got a few good shutdowns, but I just kept dying to the point where it wasn't even worth like having the Dark Seal.
Because right now you should be at like 110, 120 CS. So let's see what we do from here. No, do we get hit by the shot? Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, I remember watching that one during the game, and I was like, "Where's that coming from?"
Okay, so again we've got the sweeper on, which big no go. And yeah, like in theory, if the early game would have gone better in that situation, there you could have killed them both. You could have killed the Karma and the Set.
Yeah.
But we're very behind on what we should be. And oh, this is very risky. Are we gonna die here? I think we do. Oh no, she spared you.
I do die, but not yet.
Okay, you're gonna run it Set, aren't you? Oh no, he's over there. He was under portraits.
I think I kill Karma, and then Ash flash W's over the wall.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird interaction if I remember this fight right. Or was it this fight? No, I think they get away here.
Okay. Okay, so not too bad. Obviously, you do have a lot of camps to farm now. And you do have that control ward in blue to take. So we're going Herald? Ooh, I hope not. So at this point, Herald isn't worth it. Because it's already past 14 minutes. And you have so many camps to take. Like, so many camps to take.
Yeah, I definitely should have just gone and gotten
Yeah.
11. I think I was at... Like, I knew Set was going to head towards it, and Viego had just respawned, so I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
they were on it, but... And this is just pointless.
Yeah.
I don't entirely... I think Samir and I go to try and stop him, and then I realize he's fed and just run.
Yeah. Okay. So we got out, Smira not so much. Garen is doing Garen things. See, because now we're kind of... Oh. See, now we're kind of farming when we should be fighting, you know?
Yeah.
Because these are stacks we can get, and we're not even looking at what's happening in the fight. This Karma could be low as anything right now, and we're not really looking, you know? Ash has no mana, so we smite this killer. Kill it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So why didn't we kill her here? So she has no mana right now, and we're an assassin, and we're a level up. So here we could have killed her because she can't do anything. So if she autos us, sure she's gonna slow us. We get our W, we get a long range Q, and she's dead. So here, like we see Viego is dead, and we see all of them in mid lane. We could have just killed her here.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, I just started showing them way more respect than I probably should have.
Yeah. So I feel like the issue that we currently have is our gameplay is backwards right now. The points where we should be farming, we're not, and the points where we should be fighting, we're not. So now again, we've got a lot of gold, so we have to play like we've got a lot of gold. Because you could easily be with 150 CS now. Which would actually get you quite a lot. Oh, no, oh. Okay, so this is a bit illegal. So you only want to get... So, why do you think this is so illegal?
Because I don't have enough Dark Seal stacks that even getting a kill with Mejai would really...
Yeah, so you have 2 stacks right now. In terms of those, like, how many stacks do you need for Mejai to be 100% gold efficient? Do you think?
I'd say at least 10.
Yeah, close. It's 9. So at 9, it's 100%, which is great. So you never, ever want to upgrade Mejai's unless you're on at least 5, because then 1 kill gets you to 9. If you do this though, usually you only want to do it when you've already got your rocket belt, because you're also going to get 5 magic pen from it. which is really, really valuable. So the main reason why Mejai is so good second, and why on Eve you can go on 5 stacks instead of usual 9 or 10, is because you have your boots, which give... How much magic pen does soak boots give? Let's test
18.
you. Yeah, okay. So then you have your rocket belt.
Which I think starts out with, I think 8.
6.
6.
So this automatically puts you to 24. So we're at 24 now. So then your Mejai's on top, if you buy it, will put you to that gives you a nice 5, which gives you 29. Now most champions in the game don't have all that much in terms of magic resist, and you can actually see your rocket belt here. Oh, so see, we get the 6 here. So we only so we get to 29 with just these. So Sorks, Rocket Belt, and Mejai's will get us a grand total of 29. Now most champions have between 26, I'd say, to 34 magic resist. So what ends up happening here then is we are basically very, very close to true damage. Like very, very close. Because, yeah, Sulk's on 18, Mejai's on another 5, and then 6 from Rocket Belt. Then as soon as we get another item, we end up getting true damage, basically. So we end up super, super strong, and that's before our W anyway. So our W reduces our magic resist by a massive amount. So if we get a fully charged W off, and all of this magic pen, then we end up just doing true damage to them. So we just 100-0 everyone. So that's why our goal is to get these Sorks and the Rocket Belt as quick as we can, and then run around, get as many Dark Seal stacks as possible, and then at 5 upgrade to Mejai's, and then you just run around to get as many as possible. Now the reason you run around to get as many as possible is because what is your next item from here? I know you know it because I've told you, but...
Rabadons.
Yes. So Eve is one of the very rare champions in the game where Rabadons is a core item. So because Rabadons is a core item, you really, really have to get a lot of kills on this spike in order to get to it very, very easily. This is the most important part of any Evelynn game in the entire game. Because you will have 6, you're invincible in terms of where you can go. Because as soon as you get this, you end up in a position where, like, you can choose wherever you want to go. Because once you're invisible, you get free reign. So let's say, for example, Ash Karma, both very squishy. You can have those 3 items with that huge amount of magic penetration, and then you can just start ignoring your camps a little bit. If the kills are free, you could run down, get a kill here. Then what you do is after this, you would run, you'd clear out their pink, you'd fake that you're walking this way, and then you'd go around here. And then you can wait for them here in this area, and then you can kill them here. And then what you can even do is, if you're very strong and you didn't have to use your ultimate for that, what you can do is from there you kill, say, the Ash here, okay? Then what you do is you go up through here and round here, and then you sit here, and then you kill the Ash again here. See what I mean? So by doing this play, you can basically kill an ADC 3 times in one kind of swoop. You know what I mean? And then escape pretty easily as well. So yeah, we end up in a position there where we will get to 25 Mejai stacks so fast, it's unreal. We'll just get it almost instantly. And then we're getting super close to our Rabadons. As soon as we've got our Rabadons, we don't even need to ult. We just basically run up to them, EQ, and they will die. Like, especially, like, the squishies. They're basically just dead. So this is kind of, right now, our overall goal for you to climb is to firstly fix your early game decision making. And see here, you lose gold by building it, because you don't have that 9 stacks. You're not going to get 9 stacks anytime soon. You could have got Rocket Belt, which would have give you the 18 plus 6, so the 24 Magic Pen. Now, there's some champions that have 25 Magic Pen. Like, some champions don't actually have that much. So you end up in a position where you can start doing true damage to some champions quite quickly, really. So the first big thing is to definitely get you doing that. We'll keep watching, but it's definitely to start getting your early game nailed. And then once we've got your early game nailed, then we'll get onto this period where you've got this spike, and then it's about kind of using these spikes, because like squishy champs, so like Kale and Oriana, Kale and Yumi have like less than 25 magic resists. They're like 25 and 22, and then most champions start at 28. So again, not most champions, should I say, but a large amount of champions have 28. So as soon as you get to that 29 magic pen, you can basically true damage anyone, almost. Because a lot of champions also have 30. I think 30 is the most common amount of magic resist, and then it's 32. So as soon as you get that Rabadon Zen, you do true damage to absolutely everybody in the game, and it's super hard to deal with you, Eve. So let's see this fight.
Yeah, I think my mentality here was I could get Mejai's and then get some stacks by grouping, and then start to kind of pull it back because I'd have enough AP. But
No, you need more damage initially, like more raw damage.
it it falls apart pretty fast. I think most of this fight is okay. I definitely could have pathed a bit differently in a lot of these situations, and then
Yeah, so the issue here, actually, you could have made this work. Yeah, you could have made this work quite easily, but it is more about how you play. So, first thing, your camera control, really, really off. Like, all of this area is not providing you with anything of decency. Also, do you remember we spoke about your HUD before I'd even seen the game?
yeah,
Now we can't see the set, because our HUD's in the way. Where if we close this, and it'd be like here, we'd actually see him. Then, on top of this, we stack it in the charm, and he's busy with the Malphite, right? So we put the charm in him, but look, like we're melee range. So what we're looking to do is charm him fully, like full charm, and then we can one-shot him. So we should have been staying back here, waiting for the charm to fully go on him, and then once it is, then we can go in with our Q, our E, and then we can kill him with our ult, because, again, his resistances won't matter. We're already very strong, so his resistances don't really count, especially with your W being so broken. And he wouldn't be able to ears, and he wouldn't be able to don't you. He would die instantly here.
yeah. I definitely should have held the charm because I didn't quite realize that he was only 10 while I was 11 here.
Yeah.
So I was more afraid of him and wanted to get out.
Yeah,
And
so don't worry about that. Obviously, once we've fixed your early game, like, you won't really need to be scared of anyone, if that makes sense, but...
yeah,
Oh, and see here? Like, we didn't actually get our charm. We used it too soon.
yeah, and this is where the Ash just
Oh, yeah. And now all of our stacks are gone.
yeah.
And again, like we previously mentioned with that play that you should have done, now we're in a position where the Ash and the camera are allowed to do whatever they want. So here now we do have a rocket belt. Oh, so we really waited too long on that Q. Oh, and we ulted way too soon. So there's a lot of mechanical mistakes coming out now.
Yeah, I think at this point I was just kind of too tilted to really pull
Yeah,
anything efficient off.
yeah, but do you remember? Actually, we'll cover that towards the end. Let's finish watching. Let's see what happens. Okay, Malphite Russian Thornmail. That's very cringe. Okay, so now they get Baron. Yeah, we're just so weak. Yeah, see, the issue here is we're just so behind, and it's all because of how we played early.
Yeah, I definitely should have had like Mejai's by now.
Oh,
Or not
easily.
not Mejai's, but a Rabadon.
Rabadons, yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, if you can have your Rabadons by 25 minutes, then you're in a good position. Earlier, the better.
I think I tried to stop them from getting a soul here. I should have let Viego just keep fighting it, but
Yeah.
I tried to kill him early and then I smited early and just
Oh,
gave it
yeah,
to him.
you smited the Fiora, I think. Yes, they get that, and then they end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so do you remember, obviously, at the start of this session, where you thought there was nothing you could do to carry this game?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. It's the thing is with League, there is always, always, always something you could do. It's just a case of understanding what that is and how you can play it better. So the task that we're going to set you is for your games for the foreseeable future. You want to path. I mean, I don't want to say you want to replicate this path every game, but definitely at least the next 10 games. Start on your Raptors, go to Krugs, then go to Red, then go down to this, then go to, oh, whoops, then go to this, then go to this. After that, you can go and check the crab. If it's gone, that's fine. You can sneak past here and it won't see you. But if bot is in a fairly okay spot, come down, see if you can just get a W off on the squishiest target possible, just to get their flash. As soon as a flash has come out, if they're not nearly dead, then just leave. Then what we want to do is we want to get in the bush, we want to reset, and then we want to do basically the same again. So then once we reset, oh, I don't know why we're running through walls. Once we reset, we want to come, get this again, and then this again. Oh, well, I mean, this will probably spawn first, so it depends how long you're in this bot fight. But you can come and get this, then path down here, this again, and then try and repeat gank it. So once you've done that, then, again, if you previously burnt a flash, then you can charm someone and flash on them, get the charm. As long as your allies are following up, they'll die, okay? Then what we do is, again, we reset. If we've got a kill, great. And then we'll reset. We'll come straight back out. We'll get our red buff. If we got a kill, and then we get 6 off red buff, then depending on the top, you can maybe look to get something on top lane. Otherwise, just get your red, one more sequence down, so another, because once you get red here, you'll be able to get Krug straight away, because they'll spawn while you're doing red. Then do this, then this again, this again, this again, and then you've got 6. So then what you want to do is come and try and get something on bot, and at this point you should have your Soul Shoes and your Dark Seal. So at this point, come and get something on bot. You'll have level 6. If you can hold your ult, do it. If you can't, don't worry, the kill is more important. If you do manage to hold your ult, then what I want you to do is go check this brush for a pink. If there isn't one there, come through here and sit in this brush. Once you see someone that's squishy, or somebody that doesn't have flash, so if they're squishy and don't have flash, perfect. Once they get here, charm them, wait for the charm to fully go through, then one-shot them here. If you need your ult, again, use it. If you don't use your ult, what you want to do is, again, come through here, come sit here. You be careful, though. So you have to come around and you have to really kind of curve like this, because this will see this area, so you'll get spotted. So stick to this wall as much as you can and walk to this point, but don't go past there, because then you'll get spotted by the tower. And then as soon as they're walking through, kill them again. This will get you enough gold for your Mejais, and you'll be pretty much full stacks. So then you get your Mejais again, come, full sequence again, and then do it again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so just Just keep abusing the squishy people.
Yes, 100%. And what will happen is once you kill them here, they start tilting. Once you kill them here, they AFK. Like, it's hilarious. Obviously, if you kill them here and you have to use your ult and you're low, it's fine. Reset, full sequence again if they're available into bot, and do it again. Just keep going. You'll get so many kills, and then once you start getting enough Mejai stacks, you'll start one-shotting them without your ultimate, and then you'll get into a position where they just die all the time. Now, there is other strategies to do on Eve and other situations, don't get me wrong. But just focus on this one for now. We can go over a top lane plays and mid lane plays, stuff like that in the future. Just focus on this one for now. It doesn't matter if it's not the most optimal in every single game because this is silver, so it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
focus on that. Just see how that goes for now. Again, stop by Morello's and also... don't get Mejai's until that 5 stacks when you've already got Rocket Belt. If you get to 10 stacks on a seal before you got Rocket Belt, feel free to build a Mejai's. But only if you've got 10 stacks already.
Okay.
But yeah. So what I'll do is I'll stop the recording there.